beep, 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 beep. Welcome back to the court of the Edijester. How you doing, folks? Here we go. Here, wasn't it lovely yesterday? Bit of sun, apparently it's going to rain from Monday. That was a bit short, wasn't it? What is it they say? April showers bring May flowers. That may well be true as of Monday here at Edijester Central. Let's have a look what I've got for you today. This is about the Workers' Rights Bill, which is coming from Labour, which was it's sort of addition to certain laws that were passed by Kemi Badenoch going back a while in 2023. It's not good news by any stretch of the imagination, as you can imagine, and things are just going to get worse from this point onwards. But before we do, become a warrior teacher. If you can afford to help me out by keeping me going, please do buy me a coffee or join my Substack. It's only £2.50 a month at the moment. Get my videos with no adverts. Yeah. So do you want to take a look at this with me then? Let's get going, shall we? Workers' Bill will stop UK firms doing US-style diversity rollback. No surprise from me that they want to attempt to keep this revolting ideology alive and well in British businesses. And this looks like it's their vehicle to do it. So the Labour Rights Bill will open businesses up to adverse findings of discrimination in the courts, employment lawyers warn. Labour's Workers' Rights Bill will prevent companies from joining a US rollback of diversity and inclusion policies, Britain's top employment lawyers have warned. Laws passed by Kemi Badenoch while in government in 2023 will be strengthened by Labour's Employment Rights Bill, requiring companies to take all reasonable steps to prevent harassment. Oh, dear God. Harassment is against the law. It is against the law to harass someone. This is much more than that. Several large US corporations, such as Walmart and McDonald's, have either scrapped or scaled back their diversity, equality and inclusion. It's not diversity and equality because it's equity. That's what they're after. You know what these people are like. But in an open letter to businesses, the chairman of the Employment Lawyers Association, the ELA, said the same moves in the UK would open them up to adverse findings of discrimination in the courts. Casper Glynn, KC, said the bill means that an employer without DEI policies addressing this matter will be unlikely to be able to show that they had taken all reasonable steps. The Worker Protection Act 2023 amended the Equality Act passed by the coalition government in 2010. Badenoch, who is now Conservative leader, was then the Minister for Women and Equalities. Those rules, which came into effect last October, force employers to take reasonable steps to prevent sexual harassment of employees, including by third parties such as a customer or a client. You know, if I'm an employer and somebody sexually harasses one of my staff, I'm going to go to the police. Why do we need that? Because they wanted to force people to do it. The problem with this is it's a lack of trust, isn't it? They don't trust people to do the right thing. In practice, this includes educating staff about what constitutes sexual harassment, assessing workplace culture, providing targeted training for managers, and consulting with employees in continuous evaluations. Which is a nonsense to begin with. Labour's bill will raise the bar to all reasonable steps and expand the clause to include harassment of employees relating to protected characteristics, such as age, race, gender, or belief. There you go. There it is in a nutshell. What they are doing is codifying the need to practice EDI or DEI, revolting critical social justice, and other equity-driven nonsense in workplaces. You'll have no choice but to do it. That's the problem, I think. You tell me. You let me know. I'm sure you will. US companies have curbed their support of inclusion initiatives amid criticism from Donald Trump. They're not just doing it because of Donald Trump. They're doing it because they've recognised as a dangerous, divisive, revolting idea. That's why they're stopping. Earlier this year, the US arm of KPMG had withdrawn from its website years of annual transparency reports that outline the representation of women and minorities across the organisation. Good. Get it all gone. Deloitte, a rival accounting firm, told its US employees in February that it would be sunsetting its diversity goals while insisting there would be no change in the UK. What a surprise. If this law comes in, you'll have no choice but to do it, and it will cost you a fortune in more ways than financially. It's just... Google removed Black, LGBT and women's holidays from its digital calendars and meta platforms. The owner of Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp has scrapped its DEI programs. Britain's polled on the issue by Appellate advisors and find out now we're split on whether UK business should follow US leads, with 53% disagreeing with cutting back commitments. Glyn and Olivia Dobie, also from the ELA, warned business that no company in the GB operating lawfully should follow the US example. We consider that it could create more legal risks for GB employers to roll back DEI initiatives. Absolutely appalling. This has to go, and unfortunately, along with it, so does the Equality Act and certainly the GRA, the Gender Recognition Act. But yet we seem to be no further forward on that front. The Equality Act is incoherent in a number of ways. I mean, it protects 9 characteristics, but it's when the rights clash, like, they're balancing gender identity, and which we don't even know what it bloody means, with sex-based protections. The guidance isn't clear enough. We'll find out from For Women Scotland, with the coming result from their court case, which they fantastically brought with great courage. We'll find out how far that's going to cause us serious problems in the very near future. There's also vague definitions in it, like belief. You can't define anything. It struggles to define boundaries. It causes legal uncertainty, and we end up with a constant lawfare, which, of course, would keep lawyers happy. It also allows for certain exemptions, in which case the whole thing's useless. It's just contradictory. Religious institutions can do certain things that other institutions can't. And then there's proportionality, this idea that you can, we're only going to get black people in. We're only going to employ black people. We're not going to employ white people. It allows it to do that as well. It's absolutely incoherent and absolutely unfit for purpose. And it's complex. It's just dense and technical. It makes it hard for anybody to understand it. This is exactly where we are with all of this right now. And it's extremely dangerous to your average person. Extremely dangerous. They just don't know it yet. This is the cage in which they will cage us. This is the cage which will enable them to do whatever they want to do. And this is the cage which will enable the likes of the rotten trans rights activists and BLM, critical social justice, critical race theorists, to strangle the UK. And it will be a strangulation that occurs on multiple levels, not just one, because it will affect everybody, from individuals right the way through to business. And it's something that needs to be stopped. Whether or not we're in a situation to stop it, I don't know. Whether or not we've actually got the will to want to stop it, I don't know. But if you think that things are bad now, you honestly are going to be unbelievably gobsmacked by the reality of the situation these new laws provide, because they allow a toxic parent to begin to oversee just about every aspect of your life. And from that point of view, there will be nothing that you are going to be able to do about it. Nothing. It's just a toxic overseeing parent constantly. It literally is, I suppose. If you want to go to a literary reference, it's Big Brother. But it doesn't help to look at it that way. Think about it as a toxic parent, then you're pretty much on the right track. But we'll see how things go. You'll let me know in the doobers whether you agree with me or not. Think that I'm a nutter, which is quite possible, of course, because I have been known for my nuttery. Other than that, go on, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.